what what can society do, overall to uh, give some sort of a I don't know, support. If you can tell us a little bit about that. I mean, you've already told what happened to you.
Absolutely. So
What
I
would have
think,
changed for you, a little bit?
well, I think most importantly, the most common sense, I think a lot of people were shocked when I told them that it was my mom's parents
Hmm.
who didn't stand by her, or the family that could have possibly easily stood by her or fought with her or given her that basic moral support also. Jabki
Yes.
we didn't ask anything, we didn't ask for them for no money, nothing.
Hmm.
बट एक मॉरल सपोर्ट नाम की जो चीज होती है, आप
Hmm.
अपने खुद के खून के रिश्ते को भी नहीं दे सकते हो. You can't even do
Hmm.
that for your blood sibling.
Hmm.
That's very, very astonishing. And that's what took a lot of people by surprise. And I think that's the first pain that my mother took out when
Hmm.
she weaned it out with me, that I
Hmm.
think for me, more than the bigger crime or bigger sin that would have been committed, even more than my husband, would have been by my own family who didn't stand by me,
Hmm.
right? And I
Creating
think
family.
no daughter should go through that, and that's what she said.
Hmm.
So if I go and complain to my family, they say, "Arey bhai, you are now theirs, you belong to that family, you're
Ah.
married."
Hmm.
मतलब वो मेरा खुद का परिवार या खुद का घर में मेरा घर नहीं है. So
Hmm.
because her family said you should not be here, and the same thing my father used to kind of atrociously bluntly tell her
Hmm.
that, you can leave if you want, this is my place. So
Hmm.
that's the biggest question she used to ask me, beta, where is my place?
Hmm.
Where do I belong? I
Hmm.
don't belong there. I
Hmm.
don't belong here.
Hmm.
There is no place for me. Is
Ah.
this what a daughter is born for? Or
Hmm.
this is the treatment we deserve for particularly India being Bharat Ma, or this is something I really highlight. And it literally kind of caught my eye because I come from a community which believes very strongly in Kul Devi, who worships a goddess.
Hmm.
एंड पूरे दिन में सुबह से शाम तक उनकी पूजा होती है.
Ah.
जो घर में आप माता की पूजा करते हो, द वेरी होम दैट यू वर्शिप अ गॉडेस इन अ फीमेल फॉर्म,
Hmm.
वही घर में
Hmm.
यू आर दिन दहाड़े
Hmm.
openly torturing and abusing a woman
Hmm.
through very womb which a person is born. You
Hmm.
are constantly harming that person.
Hmm.
How does it make you even closely being forgiven
Hmm.
for the goddess that you worship? What is the point of doing it? Why do you do it? These
Hmm.
were questions that were brimming in my mind, and that's what I really,
Hmm.
that pushed me, motivated me to actually then start finding answers to it when I started soul searching and then questioning God. Ki, "Bhai, I pray to you. I never harmed anybody in my life."
Hmm.
That very goddess I used to question, why would you allow your daughter to go through this? How
Hmm.
dare you go let us go through it? Why would you allow someone who's so pious, who's so soft and pure hearted, unko kyun aise aap torture karne dete
Hmm.
ho? Why did,
Hmm.
how can you do that,
Hmm.
especially for someone who's done seva for so many people?
Hmm.
So that's when I realized that, okay, I think this is exactly the lesson we have to learn,
Hmm.
that way this is something, everything has been man made and we've created from a perspective, but that energy is right within us.
Hmm.
And that's when I always used to go through year by year, passing year, try to sail through a journey with mom, trying to heal, trying to get over so much of
Hmm.
issues every single day.
Hmm.
I noticed that every time when I used to live in my dad's place, I used to celebrate her birthday, I
Hmm.
used to celebrate her anniversaries, I used to make Mother's Day extremely special for her because I knew I was the only one doing that for her,
Hmm.
and it gave me so much joy. But
Hmm.
after we left home, I couldn't do that,
Hmm.
and it used to really break my heart, and I used to feel like, damn, I'm not able to do something. This is the age where I should be looking after her, and there are times she has to look after me and get me out of bed because
Hmm.
I needed someone to pull me up. So that is when I realized, okay, the Mother's Day is something we created, but what about the moms who are alone? Because I've noticed when there are sorted families, there are couples,
Very
the
true.
kids, the
Yeah.
kids and the husband
Yeah.
make them very special or celebrate Mother's Day for the
And you
mom and
did
take
do
her
a,
out.
a solo mom project,
Yeah, so
right?
that's exactly when
Express.
I
Yeah.
was motivated to do this.
Hmm.
And this is my journey that started when I was bedridden and I was living around my mentor's place. And he gave me this secondhand laptop in my hand.
Hmm.
And he said, Vayu, this is your world for now.
Hmm.
Do whatever you can.
Hmm.
You know, make sure that you don't stop. Whatever's flowing, let it flow. I literally started typing out all my frustration of everything I went through in form of words.
Hmm.
Now, for somebody who's been extremely outdoor, outgoing person, always so actively, doing things which are more physically oriented in terms of dancing, sports,
mm,
suddenly had just words left with her. So I
mm,
started typing it out, and to my surprise, I saw a very different side to me that I did not know, and I discovered
mm,
uh, into writing. So that's how my writing started as a freelancer, being on bedridden and on and off, getting through my cervical issues.
mm,
And that's how I was motivated to write these things, all these questions that came into my head and
mm,
about Mother's Day. And when I was in Mumbai,
mm,
I knew I had to do this. It just spontaneously happened that I had a camera by then.
mm,
And because my mom knew I love photography, and my mentor pushed me to like somehow start my journey there, I
mm,
decided to just speak to a friend of mine who I remembered her father had passed away quite at an
mm,
early age. So I just talked to her that, listen, I want to talk something about your mom. I want to bring them together for this Mother's Day, celebrate a
mm,
single Mother's Day for
mm,
all the moms who've been looking after us, making a choice of putting us first
mm,
instead of themselves.
mm,
Their bravery, their courage of accepting everything, and we should celebrate them. I want to do this and talk about her story and motivate the world. And immediately she just shut me out. She's like, no, 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 that's not possible.
mm,
So that was something that really confused me. And I thought,
mm.
why would somebody do that? Why would somebody want to be in the closet when they've not done anything wrong?
बिल्कुल सही बात है,
हाँ,
वेरी ट्रू.
जबकि कोई कोई गलत कुछ काम ही नहीं हुआ है. Her father passed away. So that made me even more adamant that I need to do this. So I just popped up a question on social media one day that I'm looking for single mothers and so and so and so. And to my surprise, this is the first time I had the courage to even do something like that. I
Mm,
had a very positive response. I had people reaching out to me.
mm,
I tried to connect with single mothers. I had a lot of rejections. A lot of women were very afraid to talk about their stories and issues. And
mm,
so I knew that this is a serious problem.
mm.
This is a serious problem. And I
And
wanted to do this.
yeah, absolutely. And I think it's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. So I
Yes.
I
Mm,
organized an event, and luckily there was this really kind lady who reached out to me.
mm,
She was running a salon. She's like, Vayu, I'd love to collaborate with you. We could actually put up the whole salon out for them to pamper them,
mm,
celebrate them, give them a beautiful makeover. I'm
mm,
like, yeah, of course. I want to celebrate their inner beauty, which is their courage, which
mm,
is their acceptance of choosing the children first. And I
mm,
and of course, as a team together, we can celebrate and make them feel beautiful from the outside.
mm,
So we just teamed up and organized an event, and I hunted for mothers. Although I did not have a lot many, but I was so certain I want to do this. By the end of the day, I was tired of trying to look for them. But one day I got a call from somebody who said, I would like to come and meet you.
mm,
And I was like, you can come at the event directly, I'm
mm,
as it is waiting for moms to come there and get through an experience. She's like, no, actually, the problem is, Vita, I'm not going to be there on that day in the city. I have to travel. But because you're doing this, I need to really come and see you. So I
mm,
was very surprised. Why would somebody want to do that? And
mm,
she actually came down. I gave her the address. She took the trouble to travel all the way from New Mumbai to my place. And
mm,
she came all the way just to thank me.
mm,
She's like, thank you so much for doing this, because it's been years and years of my life holding that pain inside me.
mm,
And I felt like nobody thought about us this
mm.
way.
Very
And you're the first call I just came across when my friend told me you're doing something like that. And I wanted to see you no matter what and share my story with you. Even
true.
if I'm not at the event, it's fine.
Mm,
So I actually took out the time, sat down with her, and she shared her story. I documented it and I
yes,
kept it, saved it. And
yeah,
she
and
left. So
mm,
I never got a chance to see her again.
mm,
And when I went to the event, it just made my motive stronger. So
mm,
when I did that, I documented all the women. We celebrated Mother's Day with all these single moms.
yeah,
Every lady had a different walk of life.
mm,
Somebody was
very
somebody's
good.
husband had
Yes,
died to cancer.
mm,
Somebody had a lot of abuse. Somebody's parents supported them. Somebody had no one,
no one to, yeah.
and somebody
And
was from an
yeah,
extremely low
I
income
saw
background,
that.
like
I saw,
working as a maid.
very true. And I saw that. And the only single thing that everybody asked for, especially the women, was respect, respect single moms. And I just, put it out there for people here also, because uh, when it comes to women issues, society everywhere is very similar, I'll say. So all I can say is, please do not judge anyone, a single mom, or especially, women trying to make it on their own, which is so important. And
Absolutely
Vayu,
not
I know,
easy.
Absolutely. And look at you now sitting here talking to me with such a bright smile. And, I see so much of cheerfulness in your eyes. It's not, the road has not been easy, like you said already. My question, I think, time or last question will be tell me about the any NGOs there in India that could have helped you, or where do you think that, things can be better that way as far as help for DV survivors goes in India?
So in my case, Namrita, when I was going through the situation, I definitely looked up a lot of things. I
Mm,
talked to some people, but I do understand being in that position that it's not easy. You don't get the right sources, and because your state of mind is already so damaged, you are
mm,
already in so much fear
mm,
that it's very difficult to be counting on such things as they want you to come up with paperwork. And there are some women who will not be able to even get out their home when they're going through abuse. They're so
mm.
afraid कि उनके पास वहां से
Very.
निकलने का रास्ता ही नहीं है. How
Mm.
will they reach out to somebody?
Ah,
There have been such circumstances,
yes.
and definitely there are some NGOs that work for such a cause.
Mm.
And now I think definitely in 10 years down the line, things are transitioning. People are open and more accepting of things. The
Okay.
whole discrimination between the son and the daughter is reducing a bit now, but
Mm,
I think it still has its bad patch in every area.
mm,
Moreover, I obviously look at it in the way that the basic thing a society can do is
mm,
change their perspective and just be even morally supportive is enough, because I always advocate the fact that these things need to happen to be able to only show us the light that we've forgotten in our own selves. So even when women who reached out to me after looking at my story in Humans of Bombay, that's
mm,
what I told them: you need to be strong first.
mm.
You do not need anything else in order to fight a battle. when
Very
you find
true.
your when you find your own inner voice and your strength, because when we are going through all this, we're operating with fear.
Mm.
We're constantly operating with fear because we have
Bilkul.
forgotten our authentic self.
Absolutely. And, at the heart of it, heart of the abuse is control, I think. I'm thinking physical control, mental
और
control.
जब तक हम वो कंट्रोल देते हैं किसी को, तब तक वो इंसान करता है. So I
Correct.
learned that till the time I don't know how to draw my healthy boundary,
Mm,
I will allow the other person to torture me, and in very minuscule things. So
mm. Very
this
true.
entire journey led me to spirituality, and spirituality basically very simply means to really identify and know your own true self.
Very
And that's got me to realizing and identifying and discovering and completely unearthing my own true self. And I think now that's the reason I'm able to fearlessly share this, and also want to convey that message to people that please find your own inner voice. We all have to have our own journeys. Nobody has a right of imposing anything on anyone.
true.
And if there's a certain strata and a societal construct that has been built, it's because of people wanting to control the situations and mindsets, which is not needed. So
Mm.
I think as with time, so many things are changing. So as our way of wearing clothes or accepting so many other things, it has to be first a thought process,
Very,
right? So उस
very.
हिसाब से I think ये NGOs भी जब support करते भी हैं, तो I think even their systems to be able to reaching out to these women were not that prepared. But I think now after COVID, you see so many such cases coming up, and now people are building more such things. Mental health is such a priority now
It
because
is,
we've
it
seen it,
has.
and it has to be,
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
right?
the first thing, physical uh, wounds might heal, but mental,
You don't. And more than
mental health.
mental, I think, Namrita, there's one thing that people are not even very aware of is
Mm,
there are a lot of spiritually inbound wounds, because when you have childhood trauma and wounds, they keep building onto you in form of layers and layers that subconsciously we are not even aware of.
mm.
We have moved on, we
Very
become
true.
adults, but वो पता भी नहीं होता है कि वो wounds अभी तक वहां पे heal
Because
नहीं हुए हैं.
like you said about your father, why he was hitting your mom is because I think he had those intergenerational wounds somewhere,
Exactly. Yes.
and that's where, and they didn't get identified that time.
And there's nobody who knows how to talk about it or even heal them or talk it out or change
How
that
can
person.
they heal? Yes, yes. So
Right.
all I can say, I know there's so much I can talk to you and know more about you, but I think jana padega,
I
Vayu.
understand.
But thank you so much for joining and talking your heart out on this. I just hope people, listening to the show, um, think about it. There are a lot of red flags, and DV is not just about physical abuse. It can be mental, it can be sexual, it can be digital now, and there's so many different kinds which even I don't know of. So keep your eyes and ears open. If you feel in any ways not in control of certain things and or being, then do think about where you are. I have some free helpline from Maitri which I want to share right now. Maitri helpline for DV survivors uh, is 1-888-862-4874. Then I have Narika's number, 1-800-215-7308. I have Safe of Alternatives for Violent Environments crisis line. It's 510-794-6055. These organizations are doing wonderful work here in the Bay Area. And all I can say in the end is, Vayu, I think it goes so right for you that a river cuts through a rock, not because of its power, but its persistence. So you are persisting, you are resisting, and you are thriving. And I just wish you and your mom the very best. Just, I think you're a healed person, and whatever, trauma you have, I just hope, you live strong and just be there for people who need you. That's all I can say.
That's
Much
exactly what I'm
love
doing
and
moving forward now.
virtual
Thank you
hug
so
to
much.
you.
Back to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Vayu. Last words, anything you want to say?
I just love to say that please find your own inner voice. I think there's no more beautiful thing than finding your own self love, because when you do that, everything starts making sense about life and its journey. It's beautiful after that.
Mm.
So it just takes us one tiny step to get out of the fear and take that jump. The rest is, if the oceans is actually welcoming and endless for you. So I would love to share also the project Dinava with you, Namrita. You can share it with the
Will do.
audience, and we'd
Absolutely.
probably love to even share and motivate other people when they need to.
Absolutely. I'll put it up wherever I can for that. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Take
Bye.
care. Thank you.
Shosha is a creative Indian restaurant located in the heart of Silicon Valley. Shosha is a woman-owned business that serves traditional Indian flavors assimilated with molecular gastronomy techniques. The best Indian bar with happy hours in the Bay Area serves handcrafted drinks inspired by flavors from India with modern craft cocktails that are presented in unique ways. Shosha is a modern take on traditional Indian cuisine. We specialize in corporate luncheon, anniversary celebrations, birthday parties, and catering. Do check us out for a memorable modern Indian dining experience. Shosha is located at 141 South Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale, California.